week. Happy Monday to you. We're counting down till the end of February, if you will believe it. March is around the corner.
And I love it.
You love it for yourself.
I love it for myself.
I love it for
Honestly,
you.
I really do. Menstrual health has long been treated as a private matter, right? Yet for millions of women, it is also a powerful window into overall health. Now, a new innovation is challenging how we think about both sustainability and diagnostics. Created by health innovator and social entrepreneur Titilope Olotu, PADI is a biodegradable menstrual pad made from banana fiber, paired with a data tracking app that turns menstrual blood into actionable health insights. By combining biosensing technology with a mobile platform, PADI aims to detect early warning signs linked to infections, anemia, hormone imbalances, and conditions like endometriosis. With international backing and a growing educational footprint across several countries, the project is positioning menstrual care not just as hygiene, but as health care. Titilope now joins us on the line all the way from America. Titilope, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for being a part of the 4 a.m. squad. I understand it's 4:30 there in America.
Yes, it is.
Thank you
Good
so
morning, everyone.
Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I mean, this sounds so incredible using AI and menstrual pads. Let's start with the inception point. What inspired this idea?
Yes, I mean, as a Nigerian American, I grew up in Nigeria for most of my life. So 15, before I immigrated here, I understood the stigma and the disparities in women's health. So in November 2024, I already had a nonprofit that was providing menstrual resources to, women across Nigeria. And I really just wanted to understand more about PMDD, which is premenstrual disorder, to see how many women were suffering from the condition. Of course, that opened up doors to many other conditions such as BV, UTIs, PCOS, and I'm learning a lot about these conditions for the first time. And in that moment in particular, BV is actually what caused me to explore early detection that's, non-invasive, because a lot of the women that had BV had developed antibiotic resistance. And during that time, it made sense to say, let's look for medication, let's look for remedies. But in that very moment, it's if you wait too late to, seek medication, it becomes very difficult to tackle the condition. And that's when I figured that early detection was very, very important, especially one that's non-invasive, one that's accessible, and one that feeds off what we see as waste, which we can now turn into data. So that's what occurred.
Okay, it sounds really needed, because we live in a time right now where there is actually a global demand. It's no longer about a nice to have, but it's really an urgent product when we look at the fact that organic feminine care is what the world is looking for right now. Plastic-free products are a big one. Sustainable consumer goods overall. Talk to us about. I like the fact that you're using agricultural material in here. Banana leaf. How are you working with agricultural cooperatives to sort of turn a banana leaf into an actual product? What is the science and research around how that can help, especially when we look at from an absorbency point of view as well?
When it comes to the banana fiber pellets we use, I will not take any credit for that. They're amazing organizations and companies. For me personally, Ecobana, that's actually based in Kenya, has been a major support in me understanding banana fibers and the process. For me personally, I knew that banana fibers sort of an untapped resource that we had in Africa. And being Nigerian, I know, the amount of banana trees I would see going to the village, going to visit family. Yeah. So really just understanding the now that, there are companies out there like Ecobana, Aruna, and so much more that are making pads from these products. I really just, I was intrigued, I was fascinated. And for me, I think that because of the rise of, sort of toxic menstrual products and like plastic and the prevalent of it happening really around the same time of me understanding, sustainable products like, banana fiber pads. It just made so much sense to go that route for the diagnostic tool, especially when we're looking at sustainable, diagnostics for a very long time. We want to ensure that whatever resources, we're providing for women actually is something they can use for a very long time. So with that was when, the conversation about nanofiber started happening, started sourcing it and introducing it to the United States. I think I was probably one of the first individuals to introduce it to some schools in Los Angeles and Sacramento. And then since then, I realized, what, this is a key point that could help the innovation. And we just built on, the work of many individuals who've sort of established banana fiber pads and other sustainable options. And that's how we were able to incorporate that.
Biodegradable menstrual pads made from banana fiber paired with a data tracking app. Can you believe we are in this day and age where we can put those words together? We'll continue the conversation with the founder of PADI right after this.
Africa. It's time to plug into the heartbeat of the continent. Tune in to Channel Africa, your go-to radio station that broadcasts in 5 different languages.
L'Afrique du Sud célèbre la journée nationale du
Kabla hujaitwa kwa jina la double K
or more of our forests have been destroyed.
Tamo kutuli bwanji ndi
Partido Africano da Independência da Guiné.
See, Channel Africa represents every corner of this amazing land. From Lagos to Cape Town, Nairobi to Dakar, we've got you covered with the freshest news, music, and cultures. So, turn up the volume, feel the rhythm. And join the conversation. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Mmatsheko Mosito and Tebogo Lekhuleni on the upside.
22 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time, still in conversation with the founder, social entrepreneur, health innovator, Titilope Olotu. She's developed a biodegradable menstrual pad made from banana fiber paired with a data tracking app that turns menstrual blood into actionable health insights. Titilope, let's talk about these biomarkers and what the pad can actually detect.
Right. Definitely. So for the biomarkers, we wanted to tackle, prevalent sort of biomarkers that we can see from menstrual blood. Of course, there is that conversation about menstrual blood being very complicated because there's so much in it. But now we're understanding the technology. So part of, the biosensing menstrual pad, the biosensing component is actually also biodegradable as well. And we're understanding that there is technology that can be, safe and non-electronic that can serve as a tool as well. So in this situation, we basically built on that, and we're looking at reagents such as, iron, we're looking at glucose, we're looking at pH, we're looking at nitrites, LH, FSH, and other prevalent hormones within the woman's body to really just understand how this can create sort of this conditional testing environment, which I talk about a lot, because with that conditional testing, even with 10 reagents, when you look at them together, you can sort of understand different conditions as a whole. So we talk about PCOS, we talk about UTIs, we talk about just many different conditions. So really, that's kind of the system that we're creating that makes it more accessible for women to kind of decode multiple conditions versus just tackling one issue at a time.
All right. Such an important, research into that, because you've turned what would just be something to carry a woman through a specific time in the month into a health product, an overall health product, which is so important. Let's talk about, this product is needed in many African countries. Titilope, you are based in the States, but I'm just listening to how important this product would be for many African girls. In my country alone, I'm based in South Africa, we've got over 15 million menstruating women in this country alone. And there are many issues with regulation, in terms of, the labeling of the products that the women here are using. Any chance that PADI is going to make it into different African regions? Do you have plans to expand in that
A
manner?
100%, 100%, yes. And I think even the way we are building the product now, we are building it within the community. So actually, pretty recently, we have an upcoming workshop in March 8th. So we have nurses on deck. We're going into schools to support. They call them SS3. So these are about to graduate into college. And realistically, what we wanted them to understand is health screening. So the importance of, I feel like for a lot of individuals, they tend to go to the communities to test the products without really putting the well-being of, the women at heart. But for me, even before, because we are constantly researching and developing this, because menstruation is a very sort of complicated thing to just tackle and say this is just a one size fit all. It's like it differs for every woman. But in that moment, we still wanted to get data that's insightful. So we are, contracting these nurses to go into the community to, really analyze these women, really support them, provide them non-invasive health screening. That way they're comfortable and it builds trust amongst them. So for us, it's very important. It's always been about scaling. There are conversations with organizations in Kenya, there are conversations in Nigeria, there are conversations in a lot of other African countries. So realistically, like 110%, there will be PADI will be touching hopefully every African
Yes,
country.
Oh,
absolutely.
that's amazing. That's amazing. I probably have missed this particular point, Titilope, which is how do women then read the data? Because it's a pad, right? So does this
Right.
information then go onto an app because you are introducing, AI technology into this? How does that work in terms of them actually retrieving that information?
Right. I think this is always the funny question people have. They're like, "Oh, the AI is in the pad," and I'm like, "Okay, I have to explain now." The pad utilizes colorimetric analysis. So similar to my description, a pH test strip. When you dip a pH test strip, let's say in some kind of liquid, it will show you some colorimetric reaction. Basically, we are having that system component embedded in the pad. The woman will basically be able to menstruate, simply just flip it over and obtain that colorimetric analysis. There will be a color scale that correlates with it on the box of the pad. So the platform really just helps create that more accurate sort of description and reading, and it also helps with health analysis. So the AI platform is supposed to take those for you and do the conditional testing for you, so you don't have to worry about, what are these different elements looking like, as well as generating medical reports. I understand the importance of having routine checkups and having just that data over time
Yeah.
to advocate for yourself, even here in the United States, where they ask you when was the last day of your menstrual period, and you're like, oh, like I can't, So it's very important that we wanted to create that sort of routine for you. That way you have this log of, your menstrual days and all that stuff, and it helps you kind of keep track of yourself over a long period of time. But even without the platform, we wanted to sort of create that system. We understand it's going to be a little different considering, their lack of access to, let's say, electronics or lack of access to light and different things like my country, Nigeria. So really adapting to communities that, are facing this disparities is becoming a very, prevalent issue and a prevalent, topic that we are tackling as we continue to build.
Right. More than just a pad and, sort of dealing with feminine health issues and hygiene, as it were, you are also participating in the green economy in a very, very big way. And as a woman in the green economy myself, I think it's so important for us to share with one another in terms of, different ways to approach, product prototypes and, what can be done, share knowledge with one another. So with that said, are you looking to expand into spaces of education around what other women can do? Perhaps creating a similar product, maybe team up with PADI to create a biodegradable nappy or whatever the case is. But knowledge sharing, how important is that for you as PADI and the organization, as it were?
It is very important for me. I think what people tend to forget about the whole social innovator aspect is I was not really an innovator first. It was more so I saw what I wanted to do in the community. I wanted to impact the community, and then the innovation came after. So for me, when I get a lot of questions of like, oh, why isn't this on the market? I would purchase this right away. And like, I'm very, particular about the mission that my nonprofit serves and wanting to impact women. So realistically for me, it's like once women are being impacted in a positive manner, whether it's education, whether it's resources, sense of autonomy, like I'm fulfilled. I'm happy with that. So definitely in the future, resources, being able to share information, being able to provide more insights and more workshops and all of those resources, it would be, amazing. It'd be a great privilege. It's like me serving my purpose, in life. So I'd be thankful to God if that happened.
Titilope, how can we keep up with your progress and, just keep up with you and the work that you're doing? Are you on social media, a website perhaps?
Yeah, so our website is coming soon, but currently we are on PADI for you, so PADI for you on Instagram, and I'm also on LinkedIn as well, so Titilope Olotu, and I'll be sharing a lot of my progress and seeking support from the community. So if you guys want to share your insight, collaborate, feel free to reach out to me. I'm excited.
Titilope, what an amazing initiative and innovation. And we love the work that you're doing, and we are grateful that you are reaching beyond America to Africa and the rest of the world with this innovation. And we really appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time and all the best.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Same to you. The voice of Titilope Olotu. She is a health innovator and social entrepreneur. She's developed this product called PADI, a biodegradable menstrual pad made from banana fiber, paired with a data tracking app that turns menstrual blood into actionable health insights. 31 minutes after 2 p.m. Let's get the latest sports